Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So glad you joined me today for another video. I hope you are all doing well and I hope you get inspired by this mood board, for example. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a Facebook group called Bears Mixed Media More, where Marie from Mixed Creativity by Marie and myself, we alternate each month to provide a mood board. This time, mood board number 2 for February is from Marie, and she did a lot of green and red. And I was thinking I'm just gonna go with the colors. There are several ways how you can use those mood boards. Sometimes an image inspires you for something, an art journal page or an artwork or a card or whatever it is. And sometimes you just are attracted by the colors. That was actually the case this time for me. I like the contrast between that red and the green, which makes a really stark contrast, which I like. So the other thing, I haven't done Gelli Print in a while, and I decided I also need more collage papers. In fact, I'm gonna have another video coming next week where I show you how I work with this Gelli Prints. Now, I'm not gonna show you each and every piece because I was 4 hours printing, so I have quite a bunch. And yes, I also do keep those roll-off or print-off papers. You never know what you can use it for collaging. I also did do some solid backgrounds, which I really think are sometimes really handy, so I did those solid prints, but I also did those cleanup prints, and I keep nearly everything. So that's this pile. Now, I did do a lot of what I call printing with found object and mark making on the Gelli plate, and I'm not gonna show you the whole bunch because I don't think it's that interesting. I'm just gonna show you some of the prints I did and go give you a sort of a close-up so that you actually can see it. So that is the category mark making on the Gelli print, and you're gonna see it in the time-lapse. It's not a time-lapse, it's actually a voiceover. It is a time-lapse, but it is also a voiceover. Don't get me wrong. I just had to speed it up and edit out because 4 hours, nobody's gonna watch 4 hours printing. So you're gonna see it. Anyway, that is one of those mark making I have done, which is done with those ballpoint tools. I did like mark making. Then I did like forewriting. It's kind of hard to see in this one. And then another kind of mark making, more like crosses. I hope the camera picks it up. And I do have different sizes of those ballpoint tools, so you get different marks, different sizes of marks. Then I also did do some that I actually don't show in the video itself, but I mean, it's just I did circles with the tool. I mean, that's just another way how to do marks. I did a lot of forewriting. I just like the texture of forewriting. Then I have a new favorite found object tool, which is from packaging. I'm gonna talk about that in the video too. One of the classic rolls, empty tape rolls, empty washi tape rolls, any kind of rolls, cardboard rolls work perfect for making marks. Another thing I don't show off, there is a little tool I have used, but again, I'm not so thrilled with it. I'm not even sure if the camera picks it up. There is sort of a small pattern, small dots. It's not going to be a keeper, but I do like those kind of prints, which are made with the mesh from an onion bag, the mesh from a potato bag, and a tool I found object tool again, but I don't remember what it was actually, so I'm sorry I can't show you. That is one of the tools which I don't gonna keep. It was one of those foam pieces, and I'm not so convinced with that. That's again with my new cardboard tool, which I really like. And then again, I think we are with the cardboard rolls. And another classic is the bubble wrap tool. So yeah, I did get quite a bit of papers, which I hope to work on for collage for next week's video. Now enjoy the rest of the video and take care. Bye. Okay, here we go. As I mentioned already in the intro, I'm not going to show you the whole 4 hours I was jelly printing, but rather I'm going to pick some sections where I think that is interesting for you to watch. Now, I always do also just sort of solid colors, because sometimes for collage you need those solid colors too. And no, it's not the same if I paint papers. It is different when I use a jelly print. Here you can see me doing with this found object, which wasn't very successful in my opinion. I actually did throw it out after the session. I do keep those packaging things and figure out whether I can use it for jelly printing and whatnot. I found I had more luck with those items I have used here, except I did use again this black thingy, this foam thingy. But I don't remember what the left part is, the sort of a hexagon pattern. I know the thing on the right side is from a potato bag. So just look around what you have in your house. Now the next thing that is coming into play is this piece from a copy I recently purchased. It is some sort of a packaging piece. And I really like the pattern it gives. I think that's going to be a keeper. I think I haven't mentioned yet, but I did use Deli Paper to pull the prints, and I have most of the time enough paint that I can pull 2 prints at once in one go. Now here I'm using the last bit of this Pyrrole Red Golden paint, and I decided to try if I can mix it a bit with the glazing medium so I can spread it a little bit more easily. Now this is what I would call a classic jelly print tool from found objects, not just for jelly printing. Actually, you also can use it in any kind of mixed media project. Just some empty rolls from tapes and washi tapes and whatnot. Now here we are with mark making, what I call mark making on the jelly plate. I do use one of those ballpoint tools. They come in different sizes, means which they have different sizes of balls on the end of the tool. And I think that's a really neat tool because it is a ball. It doesn't hurt the gel plate, because we have to be careful. If you use something really pointy, you could damage the gel plate. I only show you once one of those cleanup prints, which I do usually with Titan Buff or white, and let it dry for quite a while so that it picks up as much as possible from those bits and bobs that are sticking to the plate. Here I do again mark making, but this time I did use a tool with a bigger ball, which makes a sort of a wider mark, so to speak. And again, I'm not going to show you the whole process. Actually, I did edit out a bit, so but you get the idea. Next, I'm going to use the smaller tool again, and you're going to see me, I do sort of a semi-writing, faux-writing, whatever you want to call it. I do like the texture of text or faux text in my artworks a lot, so that's why I do those kind of things. And now back to the bigger tool again, to the bigger ball again, this time some crosses. There are endless possibilities what you can do with those sort of tools just by removing some paint from your plate. Just give it a try. Again, I did edit out quite a bit, but I guess you get the drill by now. As I mentioned before, I do at least 2 pulls. Sometimes I do 3 pulls. They don't always have to be completely covered with paint. I like those frayed, distressed prints as well, especially because it is deli paper. I have the intention to use them in layers so that some pieces peek through. Now I'm doing again some faux writing, but this time in a big size, just for variation. Now here I'm preparing for a solid background. I want a thin layer of the green and just pull it that way it is because I want to use it together with another print where I mix the red and the green to get a darker green or more of an olive green, and then I'm gonna make marks in this olive green and print it on the one that's on the top now, the solid color print. Now again, I have edited out quite a bit of those whole process because mark making on this gel plate, she is by the way 8 by 10 inch or 20 by 25 centimeters, it takes it time. And another thing I wanted to mention, you have to work quick, and I make sure that I have a paint that isn't too dry. So I use Amsterdam, which seems to work pretty well for me. And here I'm pulling the first print on the light green background, and next I'm gonna pull the second on the Titan buff background. That's it for today. I hope to see you soon again. Take care. Bye.